9 habits that make empaths hard to love. Empathy is a wonderful quality to have. Empaths are the superheroes of the world because they love people and they like to help people. Empathy helps us connect with others, feel what they're going through, and understand their point of view. It's no secret that empaths are the kindest, most attentive, loyal, and most giving people in the world. But when it comes to relationships, now don't put your head down now. There are certain habits that can make empaths a bit hard to love. As caring and compassionate as they are, empaths can often be their own worst enemy, making it all the more challenging to secure lasting harmony in their intimate relationships. As it turns out, being so sensitive and hyper aware, number one, they're always busy helping others. My number one thing is you got to make sure home is okay before you're out there trying to help anybody. Why are you out there helping somebody and home is not secured? Home needs to be secured first. One trait that makes empaths seem hard to love is their tendency to be overly accommodating. Whoa! Anybody ever been in a relationship with a woman who was over accommodating and it pissed you off? Blah, blah.
I like to experience that.
Huh?
I like to experience that.
I ain't talking about accommodating to you. I'm talking about accommodating when it comes to other people.
Oh, okay, yeah.
When someone asks them for something, it can be hard for them, the empath, to say no without feeling guilty or taking on more than they should. Empaths often feel responsible for their feelings, for the feelings of others, and want to avoid hurting them. So they go out of their way to ensure everyone is taken care of. However, this can lead to them being taken advantage of and overwhelmed by other people's needs. This is not exactly the best recipe for a healthy relationship because you set yourself up to get used. 9 habits that make empaths hard to love. Number 2, they struggle to ask for help. Now, how are you going to be somebody who always trying to help people, but you're scared to ask for help? Empaths are usually very giving, and their empathy makes them want to give their time, money, and resources to help others. Empaths are the type of people, they don't mind giving you their time, they don't mind giving you their money to help you, or their resources to help you out if they think it'll benefit you. But they often struggle when it comes to asking for things they need. This is because they don't want to be a burden or they're just too afraid of being rejected. They also feel that asking for help is selfish or wrong. This can lead to many misunderstandings, which can be frustrating for both parties involved. And plus, the empath eventually, they're going to begin to resent the person who's using them. 9 habits that make empaths hard to love. Number 3, they take things personally. Empaths are highly sensitive people who feel things deeply. Empaths are highly sensitive people who feel things deeply and react with extreme emotion. Oh, let me just say something because I just looked at you and you just reminded me of something because he asked about something and he asked about something the other day that's already in the process. Y'all know we finna come up with a workbook. Yeah, we finna produce our own workbook. It's gonna have all the things I've talked about in the last year. So it's going to have about 40 topics. It's going to be the 2023 edition. It's going to have a place for you to write notes. It's going to have everything that we talked about and all the different topics. And you'll have them in a workbook and everybody will get a copy. So we're going to mass produce them. We're not going to charge y'all for them. You can actually write notes in there and you can go back and look at a lot of the topics that we talked about over the year. And then I'm coming out with the 2024 edition in like another month or two. So we got a workbook coming, y'all. Personal development workbook with all our topics in it, man, for y'all. So it's coming. Empaths are highly sensitive people who feel things deeply and react with extreme emotion. The problem is that this sensitivity can make them hypersensitive to criticism, and it can make them take everything personally, whether or not it was intended that way. They can't just brush off a comment or an insult because it hits them so hard. When this happens, the empath may try to shut down and hide from the pain by withdrawing from those who have caused it, sometimes for hours, days, or even weeks at a time. 9 habits that make empaths hard to love. Number 4, they like to behave like a parent in the relationship. They like to behave like a parent. Empaths often become overprotective and over-involved in their relationships, and they like to take on the role of the parent of the relationship. However, this can be difficult for people with different needs. For example, someone may have a need to socialize more. So the person you're in a relationship with, they might have a need to socialize more. They might be an outgoing person, or they may be more independent. So if you're in a relationship with a person who is an independent person, They're not going to want you checking up on them and asking them questions all the time. That could be a conflict. This makes it hard for the empath to trust their partner, because if they can't have their hooks into you and everything that you're doing, they're not going to be satisfied in the relationship. They have to have control. This makes it hard for the empath to trust their partner, and it can also make it more difficult for them to let go and rely on their partner for support when needed. 9 habits that make empaths hard to love. Number 5, they take on other people's emotions as their own. They take on other people's emotions as their own. Empaths also tend to take on the emotions of others around them. Sometimes they end up feeling things that aren't theirs to feel, like someone else's anger, sadness, or frustration. They often have difficulty distinguishing between what they feel and what they are actually experiencing. As a result, they may be more prone to overreactivity, emotional outbursts, and depression. 9 habits that make empaths more hard to learn, love. Number 6, they prefer to socialize on their own terms. If people keep inviting you somewhere and you keep saying no, you know what's gonna happen? These are gonna stop inviting you. That's what happens with that. Empaths are easily overwhelmed by the amount of chatter and noise around them. They just need their own space sometimes. They need to be able to work through their emotions without feeling judged or pressured. If you try to force an empath into socializing at the expense of their well-being, it would probably backfire on you. And that's because it feels like an imposition on their own personal space and privacy. 9 habits that make empaths hard to learn, love. And number 7 is they pay too much attention to details. Empaths are very observant by nature, and they have a habit of paying too much attention to details. They seem to notice everything, and while this trait might be great in some situations, it's not always such a good thing in their personal life. This level of attention can be hard on their relationships, especially if the other person isn't as observant as they are. Yeah, if they don't pick up on the little details like the empath does, it can feel like they don't care about certain things. And since empaths are so emotional, this can cause them to feel hurt or frustrated with their partner. 9 habits that make empaths hard to love. Number 8, they often fall for emotionally hurt people. Empaths typically fall for emotionally hurt people. Now, why do y'all think that?
Yeah, the referrals them up.
Mm-hmm.
Help them.
They want somebody to help. They want somebody to feel like this person needs me. So when they run into a person in need, oh, I'm going to be in a relationship with this person. This is my own little project. You end up losing more than anything. You've been better off just saying how you doing and keep going. Mm-hmm. They often fall for emotionally hurt people. Empaths are like magnets for emotionally hurt people. They have this innate ability to tune into other people's emotions, and they can help but be drawn to those who are suffering. In fact, empaths often go out of their way to help such individuals. This can lead to problems in relationships because empaths often get hurt themselves by getting too close or trying too hard to help someone else heal from their pain, because you can't be all things to everybody. And you got a certain amount of energy, buddy. And when it's used up, there's no more. You have to get more energy. 9 habits that make empaths hard to love. Number 9, they intentionally avoid intimacy and vulnerability. And if you avoid intimacy and vulnerability, how can you start a healthy relationship? I ain't saying you got to have sex with somebody like after the first month or even the first year, but holding hands. I mean, sex isn't just intimacy. Holding hands, looking at somebody's eyes, rubbing their hand, giving them a massage. That ain't sex. A kissing. They intentionally avoid intimacy and vulnerability. Empaths can be hard on themselves when a relationship doesn't work out. After such an experience in which they were so emotionally involved, they often shy away from being vulnerable and open. They've been burned by someone who didn't appreciate them or reciprocate the care and affection they gave, so they put up walls in an effort to protect themselves. Unfortunately, this can make it really hard to get close to the empath and establish a healthy relationship with them. Empaths may love deeply and experience strong connections to others, but their sensitivity also makes them more susceptible to being hurt. The most important thing to remember is that in order for empaths to flourish, they need support and understanding, even if their sensitive nature makes them at times a bit harder to love. So here we go. 9 habits that make empaths hard to love. Number 1, they're always busy helping others. Number 2, they struggle to ask for help. Number 3, they take things personally. Number 4, They like to behave like a parent in a relationship. Number 5, they take on other people's emotions as their own. Number 6, they prefer to socialize on their own terms. Number 7, they pay too much attention to details. Number 8, they often fall for emotionally hurt people. And then the final one, number 9, they intentionally avoid intimacy and vulnerability. I don't know why it's so hot in this cafeteria, bro, but it is. Come on now, y'all.
Okay. You feel that, yeah?
Yeah, it's hot. I didn't want to complain.
Again?
All right, y'all. Questions, concerns, or comments?
Yeah, I think some of those hit on with me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you see some things, like you were saying that the one where you observe it, but it comes off as being picky when you see something, and you might, if you're not careful, you just come across it like you're picky, but you just observe certain things that some people may not see in your, people that you deal with. They look at you like, well, your shit ain't straight. How you looking? I ain't mean it that way, but that's where it come across.
I think it's important, especially in choosing a partner, to be with somebody who can be emphatic but not be entirely an empath. Because if you're with somebody who can't show any kind of sympathy or empathy to anything, animal, other person, or whatever, you're just being with sociopaths.
Oh yeah. I mean, if a person has an issue with animals, that should tell you something.
Yeah, that's like a good kind of census.
Oh, that's a good indicator.
If they don't treat their animals good.
That's a good indicator, bro. That this person is very violent. Has the potential to be violent.
Piggybacking on what it said, everybody's basically an empath, but I guess it's
No,
hard.
everybody is an empath.
No, I feel like everybody. Got
Some
empathy
people
for
don't care.
They have a level of
Most people don't care.
Yeah.
Most people don't care. If they can put it like this, a lot of people, if they could get away with it, they'll do it.
I would have thought it was another way around.
What? Most people are caring?
Yeah, it's caring and honest and upright.
All right, well, you ever visited a New York subway? People don't have empathy for people, man.
I think that's more so the act being committed by somebody who lacks the empathy more so than it is the lack of empathy on everybody else observing the tragedy.
Well, I don't mean like that. I mean like we have politicians who are tasked with the responsibility to protect the communities, to protect America. So we can just, because basically politicians are a microcosm of the real world. All the racism and the arguments and the stuff that you see and with the way the wheels grind so slow in politics is an example of us as humans right here in this country. You can't get politicians together and make sure that every kid gets a free lunch that needs it. Make sure that every person gets medical care. Because you got people in their 70s and 80s, they're trying to figure out, am I going to eat this month or am I going to pay for my medications? That should never happen.